Hello everybody and welcome back to Arsen Girl Gaming. My name is Heather and I thank you for joining me for another Sims 4 speed build. I am so excited to do this one. So a little while ago I introduced you to my new quintuplet family, the Cobb family, and I'll link to the video where I introduced them below. So I kind of introduced them, did a CAS, create a sim of the family, while also showing everything that was in the Sims 4 Toddler Stuff pack. And this is kind of a continuation of that. I am going to be doing a Let's Play with this family because I absolutely love them. And the idea of trying to wrangle 5 little kids is just mind-blowing to me. So I have decided to build them a house, and this is the house. It is massive. They are a wealthy family, which is how they can afford to have 5 toddlers and give them every opportunity in life, I guess would be what we'll say. So they're wealthy. They have this main house here, and then in the back they have a, kind of like a in-law suite, a guest house. I'm going to make it for their butler because they are going to have a butler, and that butler is going to live in the house and or in that little house and take care of the family because this house is going to be way too big. They're going to have a staff. Thank goodness they have a lot of money. So anyway, what I'm doing right now is just kind of getting the layout. I had in my mind that I basically only want this to be a 3-bedroom house, but they're going to be fairly large bedrooms. The boys are going to have a room, the girls are going to have a room, and the parents are going to have a room. So because we have 5 kids and 2 parents, we really don't have a lot of room for any additional family members. So I don't need to worry about, who might be moving in later. I wanted to leave 1 slot open just so that we can make sure we can welcome a dog or a cat to the family. So yes, Sims 4 Pets is coming in November, and I can hardly wait. And what goes better with toddlers than animals? So so that's what I'm thinking. I did want this to be kind of a grand house, but an open house, a fun house, a house where the kids are going to be very comfortable playing. So you're going to have the 3 bedrooms. There's a nice big hallway up here. I couldn't quite work out the layout the way I wanted it in my head, but I want it to be a big grand staircase up to the 2nd floor. It's kind of a modern style house. It's not going to be very classic in style, but I wanted everything to be open, airy. I wanted the kids to feel like they could live in pretty much the whole of the house. And so this upstairs area is kind of fun for me. I like it. The boys and the girls have their own wing, and then mom and dad pretty much take up the whole back of the house with their bedroom and bathroom, and they have a nice little private hallway that leads off the main hallway to go into their bedroom and give them a little oasis, a little break from the children, somewhere to kind of hang out. Now I'm doing something up here on this floor, and I left it, but I wanted to use the dance floor to kind of make a glass ceiling. My idea was I would put this glass ceiling on top of the open staircase, and then I'm going to put some windows in at the roof line or close to the roof line that will hopefully let some light in that will come down into this glass ceiling. I didn't want to just leave it open or use it as a skylight. So so that's what I'm kind of doing here. Then, guys, bear with me here. I was going to edit this out, but I left it so you could see that the struggle is real. I am so bad at roofs that I almost want to cry sometimes when I'm working on a house and I'm trying to get the roof to not look stupid. So this is my struggle with getting a roof that I liked on this house. I literally went back to it. I did this. I did a whole segment on the roof that I didn't even film because I was just twiddling around with it, trying to make it not look stupid. And ended up just reverting back to what you'll see at the end of this segment. Then I come back later, work on it a little bit, and I do like the end result. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't think the house has quite the style I was looking for. But I ended up liking this house a lot. I'm actually really excited to play it. This video is actually going to be just me doing the shell of the house. I'm going to kind of furnish the backyard to some extent. Put down the toddler stuff out there, make the fun stuff going out there for the family. And then I'm going to do the plumbing. Kind of like I typically do in most of my speed builds or my builds in general. I will build the house to the point where you can put it on the market to sell it, and then the people moving in can furnish it. And my second part of this speed build, which will be coming shortly, will be me actually furnishing the house. So when this video ends, I did end up finishing out the bathrooms. There are 4 bathrooms in this part of the house, then 1 in the guest house. So I did the 4 bathrooms. I did 2 kitchens, a butler's pantry, which I mentioned before that I wanted to do and was so excited to be able to do it this time. And it worked out so great. It's probably my favorite part of the house so far. And I absolutely cannot wait to play this family just so I can see how it all kind of flows together. Now, I know I've said this before. I'm not a very good builder. I enjoy building, but I get like an inferiority complex because I watch so many amazing builders on YouTube. I mean, if you look at my channel page, like I have, you can see all my subscriptions and you can see who my favorite builders and such are. But I aspire to being a better builder and getting more creative and learning tips and tricks and stuff from them. So you'll see each time, I hope that when I make a build that I get a little bit better at what I'm doing. I'm trying really hard, and I appreciate all of your support, but I'd love any tips, any feedback on my house. Honestly, my feelings do not get hurt. So what you're seeing here is I was going to put a bathroom by those stairs. However, to do that, I would have had to give up my open, airy concept of this area above the stairs. So I'm not going to leave that bathroom there. And that little room with the weird shaped wall is actually going to be an office for the parents. Then off to I guess if you're looking at it, it's going to be your right. The right side of the house, under the boys' wing, will be a dining area, I think. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go that route right now. And then off the longer side off by the den is going to be a family room area. Upstairs are going to be the kids' bedrooms, but in the hallway, I've kind of mapped out in my head, I'm kind of planning on a little desk area and a little play area right in front of those windows. So we'll see how that turns out. I didn't do a dedicated playroom, and I did not do a basement on this, which I can always go back and add in later if I need to. I do have on my list that I wanted to put in a bowling alley and a movie theater downstairs, so that's a very big possibility that I may do a remodel video down the line and add those things. But as of right now, the kids are too little to really do that. So I thought maybe I'd wait until they age up. I don't know. I'm kind of playing with that idea in my head. I'm kind of seeing like where these guys are going to go down the line, because I'm really excited to actually play these. I'm going to turn aging on, and I'm going to age up this family. And I almost never do that. I almost always start a family, leave them exactly as they are, and go from there, because I really hate when they age up and die. I'm not very good like that. So that little room I just built there is going to be my butler's pantry. I'm still just kind of locking down the outside of the house. Now the exterior does change several times before the end of the video, so what you see is just a shadow of what I will end up with. And again, like I said, I do actually end up liking this house, and I'm excited. I really am excited for the family to actually live in the house. So I'm really looking forward to decorating this one. I think it could be a lot of fun, and I'm going to try to stretch myself a little more creatively. I tend to do very monochromatic colors and do pops of color. I'm going to try to do a little more than that. But you can see the exterior of the house is pretty sedate. Yeah, but I do spice it up a little bit. So keep watching. Thankfully, I had a little bit less of an issue doing the roof here on the guest house because it's such a smaller house and it didn't have too many strange angles. This part I'm working on here, I did struggle with a little bit just because I wasn't really sure how to make it fit on and blend in. I definitely need to watch more tutorials on roofing. Thankfully, I did spend a good amount of time going through the Sim Supply James's videos and watching all those to try to pick up some tips the other day. And I think maybe I need to watch them again in some other roofing videos because roofs really, 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 really can ruin a build for me. Windows make a build for me. I love windows. And I like balance. So I've also got to practice not balancing everything out. But I did put a bunch of windows in these houses because I like natural light as much as I can. I did nice high tall ceilings as well, which kind of made for some interesting placement with some of the windows and doors. Like the big doors look great, but then when I put like the den door in, it was like tiny and I was like, oh, this doesn't look right. But I don't have a ton of selections of big doors. So, you know, I had to take some creative license and go with that. Again, I did want this to be more of a modern style house. So, you know, I did things like the glass railings and the glass fencing. You know, a lot of windows, but I wanted it to be kind of warm, so I'm using these stones. And, you know, I didn't want it to be too harsh, but I wanted you to get the feel that this was definitely a house that was built recently, not built a long time ago, not a throwback to a different era. So, yeah. And then, you know, I wanted this front porch to be kind of a welcoming area. I didn't want it to be completely covered, so I just went ahead and did this little lattice trick because I like the way it ends up looking. But the trim that I used there, I do end up replacing because it went into the house and there was no way to get around it, even though I like the cornice like kind of finish to it. Yeah, so I'm really excited though the way this turned out. I got rid of that little roof part and actually I'm going to bring the window bay out. And those windows at the top, I love those windows, especially with the move objects on set because you can really kind of do some creative stuff with them. And I'm hoping those are the windows that I'm hoping will let light into the dance floor ceiling. And then here I'm just playing with drainage pipes. What are they called? Gutters, for the most part. I'm kind of just playing with those to see if I can add a little bit of interest to the front of the house, because at this point in the build I really was hating the way the front of the house looked, like seriously hating it. You can see I'm kind of back messing with everything because I'm just like, I don't like this at all. The house itself kind of looked boring to me. I thought I'd play around with the fireplaces or the chimneys. I didn't like any of the other options that I did. I didn't like the placement. Was very, very much not feeling the exterior of this house while I was building it. I'm so glad it turned out to be something I like so much, because while I was doing this, oh, and I loved when I bumped those windows out, that made me happy. And that's when I decided to turn that into like a play area for the kids. So we'll have to see how that turns out. I think that'll be fun though. And by bumping that out, I gave myself enough interest, I think, and I was able to do some things that really made me enjoy the look of this. And I'm going to change here in a little bit. I'm going to change that little rooftop to make it even a little bit cuter, I think. But I should have bumped those windows out from the get-go because it gave me needed space up there and took away like the hallway just being wasted space, which really was where I was headed for because there wasn't much you can do in that limited space. Right there you can see I kind of tried to do a sunken family room, but because I wanted to do the stone trim around the foundation, I gave that idea up and it's just a normal family room now. No sunkenness, though that would have been cool. I wish we could paint that inside when we do it that way. My dream is of someday getting a pack that will allow us to have a little bit more freedom with building things like sunken rooms, different size staircases, and everything. So until then, I'm still trying to learn to make it all work for me and work within the confines of what we've been given. I'm not 100% as good as some of these people that I follow, but with practice, you get better, right? And that is what I'm doing. So I love this. So you can see I come back and I kind of take a look and I'm like, I like to see it from different angles so I can see if I enjoy the way it looks. And I did change all those pillars from being a dark gray to white because I wanted it to break up the front of the house a little bit. I'm not going to do a whole lot of landscaping out here at this point because I'm not really sure what I want to do. So I did those little paver pathways, and now I'm going to decorate the back of the house. And I want to use as much of the Toddler Stuff pack as I can. And I thought this would make a great way to do kind of like a little covered eating area on the back porch. This is going to be where mom and dad can bring the toddlers out. They can play, they can do arts and crafts, they can eat, whatever, hang out. And it's going to be kind of a fun little place. Then the other patio on the other side is going to be more adult oriented. It's going to be where mom and dad go when they just need a little bit of peace and quiet. And there's no way onto the backyard from there. So, and I did that on purpose. I wanted it to feel like a little oasis. I'm not really sure where I'm going to take that. I might do a little bit more. I've got some ideas floating around in my head. But the backyard is going to be a dream backyard for toddlers and eventually children. I'll edit that as they age up a little bit. But over here, we're going to have the pool. I did decide to keep the pool like separate from the backyard because I wanted mom and dad to be able to go and relax like when the kids were at preschool or whatever. And I wanted the backyard to be all toddler. So this is my little toddler splash pad fountain area. This is not my idea. This is Stephanie Simarkey's idea. She has done a few of these and they're so stinking cute. I've wanted to do one since I saw her do it. I didn't even think about it or think I could, and so I did. And this is my first one. So Stephanie, if you're watching, I hope you like it. This is an ode to you. I think it came out darling. I really do. And I'm going to play around with the fountains a little bit. I just really want it to be messy and wet, and I can't wait to see what the kids do when they go back here and play. And of course, slip and slides. We have to have slip and slides because this is a playground. Now, the only thing I really wish we had, I really, really, really wish that I had the sprinklers from Sims 3, because what would be better than a sprinkler at the end of the slip and slide, which is how I played on my slip and slide when I was a little girl. We put them in the yard, we put the sprinkler on it and let the sprinkler run. Sometimes we'd hook, when we got fancy slip and slides, we'd hook them up to the hose. But before then, like my aunts would take me out back and they would make slip and slides out of plastic sheeting, and we would have a blast, and the sprinkler was always going. And then the other thing I wish we had were like little blow up pools that we could put at the end of the slip and slide so that the kids could like slip and slide right into the big puddle. But we got to work with what we got. So anyway, that is my backyard right now. It kind of cut over it a little bit, so you're not going to maybe see as much, but you can see I fenced in the toddler area. I'm hoping that that will give them a little bit of a separation, keep them safe from the water, make it easier for the parents to watch them. And now I'm going to start on the kitchen. So I kind of had an idea what I wanted. You guys know if you watched any of my videos, I like those big islands, so it's going to have an island. I wanted seating to be enough for all the kids to sit around the island. When they get a little older, of course, right now they need to be in high chairs, which we'll have eventually, but my idea was just to make this a big, luscious kitchen with plenty of cabinet space, plenty of counter space. I wanted to use these kind of sleek, modern cabinets, but I really wanted glass, so I was trying to make these end cabinets work. They're the only ones that have the glass fronts, and so I just kind of messed around with them and tried to make the placement work so that I could use them, have a little bit of the lightness from the glass fronts, and yeah, so I think it ended up being really nice. I really, really like this kitchen, though it took me a long time to get everything placed out exactly the way I wanted it, so that it didn't drive me crazy. I thought about getting rid of the glass cabinets and just putting the regular ones up, but I like the way they break them up, so it was worth just kind of twisting them and moving them and making them work. And then here is the start of my island. I want a big kind of circular island. And I honestly, I think this is like the first time I've made like a truly, maybe the second time, full-on circular island. And then I ended up realizing I didn't have it in the right place. So I move it a couple of times to get it exactly where I want it. It's kind of like moving a puzzle. But in the end, I really like the way it turned out. And we've got seating for 6 at the island, so somebody's going to lose out. And then I did put the sink in the island and the dishwasher in the island. So, yeah, kind of a kitchen I would love to have. You wouldn't have to really have a dining room. I'm going to put a dining room in, but you wouldn't have to have a dining room with this kitchen. So you can see here I'm just kind of playing with the cabinets again, because I'm like that. If my OCD kicks in, if everything's not the way I want it. So now this is the butler's pantry. So I realized I had it a little bit too wide. I didn't need it that wide. So basically it's just 2 rows of counters, an extra stove, dishwasher, and refrigerator. And then all of the appliances are going to be in there, like all the countertop appliances. So my kitchen can be nice and pretty and sleek, and we still have all the accessories we want without having to give up any of the counter space in the kitchen. So very, very fun for me to do. I have a feeling, unless I'm doing teeny tiny houses, butler's pantries are going to become the norm for me. Because, oh yeah, I like it a lot. And I didn't have to pick and choose what I wanted out on it. I could put whatever I want. I put all these shelves in there so I could have knickknacks and stuff on there. In the game with the packs, I don't have as many pieces as I do when I have custom content, like of clutter or whatever. But when I decorate the house, I am going to just dig through and see what I can get that would fit into like a pantry and fill those shelves up. All right, so I'm going to start on my first bathroom. This is just a guest bathroom, I guess. I went ahead and made it a full-on like bath with shower, bathtub, the whole gamut, just because I figured that maybe we wouldn't have to drag the kids upstairs to give them baths and take them to the bathroom and stuff. I did not end up putting a toddler seat in here yet, but I plan on doing that eventually. And I had a lot of trouble getting things to place on these tall walls properly. So a little tip if you run into that as well. When I put the walls completely up, I was able to get everything placed the way I wanted it. But if I had them in like cutaway mode or whatever, it was trying to do it all the way at the top of the wall, and it looked really silly. So now I'm just playing with some rugs to see if I can put a whole rug down, if I like it for the flooring, lighting, etc. Now, I wasn't really planning on like decorating the bathrooms, but I did a little bit. So it is maybe a little more than like real estate ready, new buyer ready, as far as the bathrooms go. But I figured while I was in here, they're not completely done. Like I haven't done the wall coverings or anything like that. I just literally painted the whole house white, as you see here, just to give it a basic white paint to start with, and so it didn't just look like drywall. And I'll go back when I decorate and do the different paints, do the different wallpapers, add lighting, all the things that you would do if you bought a house. So this is like builder's grade, quote unquote, minus the outside. So, I feel like the Cobbs are just kind of taking their time moving in. They hired someone to come and make the yard all friendly, but I'm pretty sure that the interior is going to be all Mrs. Cobb's domain so that she can get everything the way she wants it for her family. And I think the landscape or the playscape people that they hired for the backyard did a pretty nice job on it. Now they can come visit the house, they can play at the house, and then while the nanny or the butler or whatever can watch the kids while mom and dad decorate and get everything ready for them to actually move in and live there full time, because I'm sure their little house that they're living in now has to be cramped. I mean, with 5 kids, when they moved in, they only had the 2 of them, no children, and now they have 5 toddlers. So, it gets a little tight when you do that. And they said, it's time, let's spend our money, build a big house, and see what happens. So, and the other thing that's kind of cool is while we're going to have a staff, Jonathan, I'll give you a little backstory on Jonathan and Zoe. So Jonathan, he is from a wealthy family. Like, his grandfather died and he inherited a ton of money, and he never has to work another day in his life. Never, ever. However, and yeah, the balance that you see on their account is not really their balance. That's just their working capital for the house. He's got everything tied up in like bonds and stuff. So, but he can get to it pretty easily. Some investments he can cash out as he needs to. So he just calls his motherlode bank and he is fulfilled with whatever he needs. So anyway, his grandfather died, left him a ton of money. So he's a stay-at-home dad. He just kind of does what he needs to do to hang out with the kids and, make them have a happy life. He's got some hobbies and stuff I'm sure that we'll figure out as he goes on, and things he can do with the kids. But Zoe, she's a detective and she loves her job. So she did not want to give that up when she had kids. And it worked out really well that Jonathan was like, hey, I'll just stay home. I'll get some help and we'll do this. And that way you can keep working. You don't have to worry about the kids being happy or learning or anything like that. So that's kind of where they're at. So, it's pretty cool to see the like roles reversed a little bit and watch how they are going to grow their family. So they were living in a little house because Zoe was like, man, at this point, I want to live within our means. She was like, don't touch the money from your grandfather. They kind of fought over it. And then Jonathan was like, look, we have the money. Let's use it. And then the kids came along and Zoe's like, all right. It will make life much easier if we just use this money. And we can do things. We can travel. We can spoil the children. We can give them a good education. We can have nice things in life. And so that's what they're doing. And that's what this house is. So it's exciting for them to be able to move in. Jonathan, he's always had money. So it was kind of an exciting time for him to live with Zoe in their little house. But now that they're in their big house, it's a whole different ballgame. So let's take a look. This is the end results of this video. So let's see what's going on here. We've got our front elevations of the house, which I think, again, after I got the roofing done, I think it came out really nice and I like it a lot. Here's the back. Look how pretty the neighborhood is. Just love it. And they've got a nice water lot, so they can spend some time out there. The splash pad just came out so cute. I really love it. And the kids' play area is nice and safe over there. We'll put some other stuff in when they get older. We've got another view here of the guest house. This is the kids' patio. Yeah, grill out. And this is the little serene pool area. We'll do some more with that when we decorate the house. Here's an overview of the whole lot. This is a 50 by 50 lot, I believe, and I will be uploading this to the gallery if you want to download it. And then I'm just going to cut away the roofs here so you can, and the floor, so you can take a look at the layout from above. Here's a nice shot of the kitchen. Oh, it just came out so nice. I love it. My favorite, though, the butler's pantry. Oh my gosh, I just love that one so much. So you can kind of see here's a different angle from the kitchen. And then this is the kitchen looking toward the staircase, the front of the house, and on the other side of the staircase is going to be the family room and the den. So, and then this is the downstairs bathroom, which came out really nicely, I think. And of course, we've got some high-tech toilets going on in this house, because when you got the money, why not spend it? This is the girls' bathroom. So this is in the girls' wing. Put a little bit of fun, playful colors in there. And then this is mom and dad's bathroom with a nice classy clawfoot tub. And I love their vanity area. Those sinks are great. And then you're looking into one of their closets. They have two. So you can see we've got a mishmash. They don't have hers and his. It's just theirs. This is the boys' bathroom. So you can see it's kind of geared toward the boys with the color blue. Yeah, and then this is just a look at the front porch area and a different view of the front elevation of the house, which again, I really think came out very nicely. This is an upstairs view down to the area around the kitchen. And here's the hallway. We're looking toward the girls' room. Now we're looking toward the boys' room. And this is just another view down the hallway toward the boys' room. We're going to turn the corner here and go look back, I'm not sure why, at the girls' room. And then we'll see where mom and dad's hallway is here in just a second. But that's going to wrap us up, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you watched. And of course, if you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so YouTube lets you know when I post something new on the channel. And I'll be back again real soon. Have a great one.